Hey, water signs, this is Carrie Mubarak at wooingnature.life. This is the full moon view for October 13th, 2019. Hope everything is good for you. Just going to talk to you a little bit about what's happening astrologically with the moon, and then I'm going to jump right into the Wisdom of the Oracle, Colette Baron Reed, and also the Sun and Moon Tarot to clarify anything that's coming up. I'll be pulling three cards, one for my Cancers, one for my Scorpios, and then one for my Pisces, and then we'll clarify and see what's what. But it's just to give you a focus for the full moon. Full moon is a time for you to kind of get your life together, to kind of make an assessment, to see, to put the light of the moon on any kind of darkness. If there's anything that you've been dealing with or harboring or keeping deep inside yourself that needs to be dealt with, full moon time is a good time to do that. It's a good time to make an assessment. If you have goals and aspirations that you've been reaching toward, this is a good time to make an assessment of that and then see what else you have to do to fulfill those goals or to meet those objectives. And the moon is also there to kind of help you do that. So I like to look at what's happening around the moon, what type of moon is coming in, the energies that's coming in with the moon, because that can kind of help guide you a little bit. The moon on the 13th, the full moon on the 13th, is in opposition to the sun, which is in Libra, but it is in the sign of Aries. Now, Aries is a fire sign, so when we have the fire signs with the water planet of the moon, then energy is stirred up around anger. Is like the emotions that get charged up are the energy of sometimes anger, frustration, resentment, anything that causes anger. Could be jealousy, could be any of that. But with that Mars influence, it has us being a little more aggressive or a little more sensitive when it comes to things that cause us anger emotions or frustrating emotions. So be mindful of that around the full moon. Don't try not to get into any kind of tough arguments or dealing with any kind of emotional issues during that time, because what can happen is you end up saying something that you regret later, or you say things in a way that you didn't mean to say them, but it was because you were ramped up or whatever. So you just want to be careful of what you say and how you say it, especially if you're dealing with emotionally charged issues that may stir up anger in other people. We don't want anybody to like get into it really bad with somebody. Okay. The moon trines Jupiter in Sagittarius, in the sign of Sagittarius, another fire sign. But in this case, what Jupiter in Sagittarius in the 20th degree is encouraging is play and lightening the mood, doing something that will bring back that kind of childhood energy. And so, like, I would highly recommend things like escape rooms or paintball or something where you can take that aggression out, or play a game with your family if you're in it, like if you're in an argument with your spouse or your partner, or if it's family, or even if it's work situation. This would be a good time for you to take that out on the playing field. Like, go play a game of softball or do something competitive, or but fun, right? Or just to escape totally and get your mind off of that and do that together. And I think that that may help relieve some of the aggression, or relieve some of the pressure, or like take the pressure valve or add a pressure valve. I don't know what you call it, like engage the pressure valve or let the pressure valve up or something, whatever it is. And in that way, it doesn't bottle itself up, because you don't want to bottle anger energy, and you don't want to bottle that fiery energy, but you do want to have a positive outlet for it so that it doesn't end up, causing some major problems, causing some major problems. There is a square between the sun and, excuse me, between the moon and Saturn and Pluto. And Saturn and Pluto are both wanting us to get together and collaborate and connect and put our heads together and work as a team. But sometimes when you're working as a team, energy can be a little bit off, or you can get tired of being with the team. You might need some timeouts from each other and things like that, and that may be needed during this time as well. So don't hesitate. If you don't feel like you're in a group mentality, then don't judge yourself about it. Just like take the moment that you need and keep it moving. Okay. If you are in group situations, families, partnerships, or in work situations where tensions may be high or morale might be low, or there's already some energy there that hasn't been dealt with, or issues that haven't been dealt with, the 13th is really not the time to deal with that. If you do have to deal with it during that time, then you definitely want to make sure you have a mediator or some kind of therapist or a neutral party who can help you navigate that, so that you're not trying to do that on your own. I would not recommend that you do that. If you have something scheduled, I don't know if it's like a family forum or a family meeting, or if you were planning on dealing with these issues in relationship to work at that time for some kind of conference or something, or if you needed to deal with your boss, or if you're a boss and you need to deal with a difficult employee, I would table that until after the 13th, because it will probably stir up some stuff that you don't want to have to try to clean up later or try to clear up later, okay? So that's the energy of the full moon. Just be mindful of your anger, be mindful of your aggression, and if you're pushy, if you're kind of pushy, then you want to kind of lean off of that just a little bit. Just kind of let people do their thing and let them be themselves during this time. All right, so I am going to be reading from Colette Baron Reid's The Wisdom of the Oracle. I'll be pulling 3 cards from that deck, one for Cancer, one for Scorpio, and then one for Pisces, and then I'll follow up and get some clarity cards from the Sun and Moon Tarot. Okay, take a moment to shuffle so I won't waste your time, and I'll be right back. Okay, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. For Cancer, I have Loyal Heart. For Scorpio, we have Yin energy. And for Pisces, we have Truth Be Told. So I'm going to start with Cancer, then go to Scorpio, and then go to Pisces on this. Just take one at a time. We'll be right with you other two. So we're going to start with Cancer and the Loyal Heart. So there's this, there's a focus on loyalty and what it is to be loyal, and where your heart is. And I think that's really appropriate for Cancer, because Cancer is the home, represents the home, and home is always where the heart is, and that's sort of like what we consider to be the heart of the zodiac. So you want to look and examine your heart. You want to look deep inside yourself. You want to say to yourself, like, what is it that I love, and what is it that I'm committed to, and how does my love commit itself, not just in a relationship, but also outside in the world as well, Cancer. And it's like, I see that there's like a partnering that you're looking for, or a partner that you need, but that partner has to meet you on your level. I'm seeing these 2 owls here, which to me says something about wisdom and knowledge and being circumspect. And I feel like Cancer, right now, you're in that space of being knowledgeable and being circumspect, and like really being able to see things from all sides. So you need your partnership to reflect that in you. So if you're looking at partnerships, or if partnerships are not going that well for you right now, you got to look at where you are and where your heart is and where your heart lives in it. And then you have to then partner up with people who match that, right? And if they don't match that, then it's no need. This number, the card number is 35, which breaks down into an 8. The 8, of course, is manifestation. It's a number of manifestation, and it's also a number that connects the dots. So things that seem to be opposite really are together, or bringing things together between opposite forces, and opposites do attract. So don't rule that out as well. Don't just think that, you can't be loyal to somebody because they aren't just like you, but I don't think you have that issue. So I'm going to read right directly from the text now for Loyal Heart. It says, evidence of loyalty will appear in your life. Others will prove that they are faithful to you, and that you will in turn commit fully to them. There is a sure and abiding certainty in your heart. Know that Spirit is always loyal to you, no matter the outer circumstances of your life. Trust and have faith, for you are eternally loved and always divinely protected and divinely directed. For the relationship, it says your partnerships, friendships, and romantic relationships all have many qualities in common. Honest devotion, faithfulness, and a loyal heart are being shown to you. Are you as loyal in return is the question. So now is the time for heartfelt commitments and trusting in the divine protection. So that is your focus for the full moon. I'm going to reach into the Sun and Moon Tarot. For any additional information for Cancers, for the full moon, focus for Cancer and the full moon, we got the Five of Swords. So I'm getting that, you know, there, and I'm seeing a woman here standing over a man. She's got swords like pinning him down. To me, I'm thinking like, you know, it's not about ownership or possessiveness at all, or trying to control anybody. It's really about knowing yourself, understanding yourself, and being free to love, and then also allowing that person to be free to love in the way that they love, right? And so by doing so, you really are able to meet each other on a level playing field. We've got the Nine of Swords in reverse. Nine of Swords is like when you've been losing sleep. So I'm getting, Cancer, that you've probably been worried about this, or concerned about this, or concerned about a relationship of some kind. This is the time to kind of release and let that go. So when you do your full moon intentions, just make sure that you add that intention in that. Put some intentionality around releasing the old, or the things that have been worrying you or plaguing you in your mind about the relationship that you just have released or gotten out of, or that you are in right now, but there may be, you may be questioning it, for you to get some clarity around that during the full moon time. Anything else for Cancer for the full moon? Anything else for Cancer in the full moon? Oh, I have a couple of things here. All right, we've got the Universe and the Seven of Pentacles. With this Seven of Pentacles, I've got, like, I'm seeing you drawing your line in the sand. It's about, to me, it looks like boundaries. It's about setting the boundaries and then seeing where those boundaries meet. So I'm seeing like these two concentric circles, right? You know, like the Venn diagram. Am I... yeah, the Venn diagram. So you have your boundaries and the things that you want, and then your partner has their boundaries and the things that they want, and then where those two things meet in the middle, that's where you need to live. That's where things need to be. And then I feel like, you know, you'll start to see some shifts and some changes, or the ending of one cycle and moving into another. Whether or not you decide that you're going to move on in a relationship or stay in the relationship, I feel like this information is very key. It's very key. Setting your own boundaries and being clear about it, knowing the other person's boundaries and being clear about that, and seeing where the twain meet. And where the twain meet, stay in that place. Like, don't try to get into their circle, and don't let them move and shift your circle, because then that's gonna make you question their loyalty, or whether or not they really are into you and stuff like that. And it's not that they're not into you, and it's not that they're not loyal to you. It's just that, like, they've stepped over the boundary a little bit. You might have to back them up, and it's okay to back people up when you need to get backed up. Even when you love them, it's called tough love. All right, Cancer, I'm not getting anything else for you all. I'm going to do another shuffle for the next one up, which is Scorpio, and hold tight. Okay, Scorpios, we've got the Yin card here. The Yin card is about the feminine. It's like waking up your feminine energy. Scorpio, we know that you're very intuitive, and I feel like the Yin energy gets you in touch with that. It gets you in touch with your feminine side, your giving side, your loving side, your nurturing side. A lot of times people don't get to see that from Scorpio, but you need to get in touch with it first, and then you'll feel more comfortable bringing that energy out and sharing that with somebody else. But what you are very comfortable with is the intuitive part of it. I'm going to read from the book so you'll have some clarity directly from the source here. We have the feminine principle of receptivity, letting someone else make the first move, gathering information and taking cues, and the art of conscious allowing. This is a time of calculated receptivity as you gracefully await what's coming to you, ready to accept it when it appears. Yin does not involve frozen dreams or even resting, but rather consciously allowing things to flow to you, poised to receive the bounty that will be available to you. It implies sensitivity as you alertly study the actions of others and contemplate how they will affect you and yours. Remember, you must make space for miracles to appear, to be the shaped not the shaper, and you will see how quickly your dreams are manifested. For relationships, it says let others take the lead right now. Your power lies in the small gestures, soft awareness, and conscious surrender. By yielding the reins, you will find yourself effortlessly moving closer to what you truly desire. Permit others to tell you who they are and who they can be to you by allowing their actions to speak about them, and you will be pleasantly surprised. Okay, so that yin energy of receptivity, receiving, as opposed to like giving it out all the time. Okay. All right, so I'm going to the Sun Moon Tarot just for additional information for Scorpios. Focus for the full moon. Focus on your yin energy. There's some teas and some herbs that you can take to boost your yin. That, you know, bring up the yin more than the yang, okay? Quiet times. Got 10 of Wands here, which is about oppression. Carrying burdens. Looks like you're carrying a lot right now. That's the other reason why you need to be more in the receiving end, because if you've been burdened by something, that means you've been carrying a lot of energy and you've been dealing with a lot of energy. And, you know, the more you try to deal with it, it's just going to compound it, and you don't want it to compound it. This is the time when you want to be in a position to receive and not to give. Just wait and see what happens. Don't keep taking on new tasks and new things that are just going to wind up making you tired. That's what's going to end up happening. All right, so I got the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a being in a position to learn, and I'm seeing that this is from the energy of the earth, from the energy of the stars, the moon, the trees, the flowers, the birds. You need to spend time out in nature during the full moon. Scorpio, you're learning a gentler side of yourself. Interesting, considering that the moon is in a fire sign, but you're learning a gentler side of yourself, Scorpio, getting in touch with that. And then I've got the Three of Cups, which is about connecting with other people, like-minded people, people that you enjoy spending time with. So during the full moon, I would recommend that you do that. But first, I want you to get inside yourself and do some meditation and prayer around that yin energy and being receptive and being in a place of receptivity. Yeah, there's been some difficult times. Your mind has been on a lot of things. I'm seeing this along with the burdens here, the difficulties and the challenges that you're having difficulty with. And then I see it here. You've been struggling either against yourself or against others. I'm sorry you all can't see. That's a little bit better angle. You can see these two people kind of battling. But Five of Wands to me is not just about like a battle between you and another person. It's also about battling within. And I'm feeling like this boosting up this yin energy is what's gonna balance that out for you, and help you understand that. So I want you to get rid of those burdens and struggles and strifes and things. Yeah, just like take a load off, Scorpio. Take a load off. Take a load off, you know. Just let people give to you. Like, you know, I don't know, like I'm seeing you on a Chase lounge with your Mai Tai and you know, somebody bringing you another one, right? Just take that moment out, you know, and spend some time outside in nature, with nature, or either with people who you really enjoy being around, and just let them like fill your cup. Let them fill you with love. Let them show you love. Let them kind of direct their course instead of you feeling like you have to direct it. And be willing to just step out, you know, just kind of step out of that mode. Okay. All right, I have nothing else for you all. I'm going to do another quick shuffle for my Pisces, and I'll be right back. Okay, Piscean friends, your card is the Truth Be Told. So this is some truth-telling time. It's the number 14, which breaks down to a 5. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. Looks like some changes in the air for you. It says this is the truth. There is the truth, which is the essence of a thing. And then there is a truth, which is subjective according to the philosophy and of the adherent or the believer. This is not a time to debate about which truth is truer. This is a time when you are called to proclaim your truth out loud and be willing to be transparent, honest, and open in your communication with others and yourself. I've been getting judgment for just about everybody. for this full moon. So that really does make sense about being transparent, being honest, and being open in your communication with others and with yourself. Nothing less than surrender to what Nothing less than surrender to what is. Peeling off the layers of denial that kept you tied in an illusion will set you free. Be authentic and gloriously flawed, and spirit will answer with a miracle. If you're talking about a relationship or dealing with relationship issues, people tell you who they are very quickly if you're willing to listen to what they say and pay attention to how they behave. This card calls you to engage in heartfelt, open conversation. It's time to see the truth about what you share with each other and tell the truth about who you are and what you need. No one can do that for you. Remember that your truth is always based in your personality and experience up to now. A higher truth will be found after you communicate honestly and see how doing so has helped you become more attuned to yourself. Don't hold back. Speak your truth and listen. All right, so truth be told, what I'm looking at is taking off the mask, being above the mask that you wear, and opening your heart up and let your love come through, and let that be your guide. Let that be your wisdom, right? It's not about what you know or what people think you are, Pisces, or you putting on some kind of show for them that you think is going to impress them. It's not about that at all. What it's about is being your full, as they said, flawed self, and owning that. I'm seeing some oppression here, but I think the oppression is really coming from within, like you trying to hold up this image or something. It's not necessary. So the oppression to me is not coming from the outside. It's really coming from the inside. Here I'm seeing strength too. Sorry about that glare. I'm seeing strength too. I'm seeing you being able to stand on your own, and honoring that. Again, you looking, Pisces, at the things that maybe other people may not feel comfortable with, or you may not feel comfortable with in yourself. The things that you've been being in denial about, or the things that you've been hiding, or the things that you've been trying to hide from yourself. But really just owning all of that, and taking the bitter with the sweet, the good with the bad here, and owning it and being okay with that, and standing in that and saying, hey, this is who I am. The Eight of Swords here, I think this is interesting image, because it's like shows somebody with like all these thoughts and stuff, and it's like you got all these strings attached. It's like doing things with no strings attached. I think it's important. And then the Prince of Wands here is about growing in your spirit, letting that be the impetus for the growth of your spirit. Wow. That's really important. The Emperor represents a new order. Like after you do this, after you really come clean and come clear and get okay with yourself, it's going to create an entire new system or order in your life that's going to make things feel much calmer, and also make you feel like you're where you need to be, and you don't feel like you're encumbered by something that you can't even keep up with, right? And when we're not being our full selves, we do feel encumbered. We do feel like, oh my God, I can't hold this up. So I'm saying use sound judgment with the King of Swords. Use good judgment in relationship to that. I think that if you are spending time with yourself and out of the way of judgment, I don't know if you're around a lot of judgmental people, but I think you're taking that on, which is why you're more reluctant to show people the side of yourself that is flawed. But don't give in to that. Like, the King of Swords knows like what they want, and also knows who they are, and they stand in that truth, and they use it. Like if you've ever been around a King of Swords person, they could be flawed, and they're a-okay with it. Like they're okay with their flaws. They're just like, yeah, I'm judgmental, and you better like it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that's what you have to do. You have to take on that King of Swords attitude right now. I've got the Princess of Cups in here too. The Princess of Cups is a message about love. I think it's about loving and listening to yourself, and listening to those who do love you, and then just getting in. Just go all in. Like don't be shallow. Like don't stay on the surface. Just really take a dive, and don't be afraid of it. You know how to swim. You're a water. You know exactly what to do in a water situation. And then I feel like you'll be able to use the resources and use that energy to just empower yourself even more. All right, so that is it for you all, for my water signs. I hope you all have a great full moon. If you want to get a full moon view, a personal full moon reading, you can reach out to me at Carrie@wooingnature.life. As always, I hope you have a great full moon, and I hope you're having a wonderful life.